What's going on to everybody who's watching this a little bit later? Give it a little bit, see if anyone shows up live. Gonna be different this time around though because Pixelborn is gone. So obviously Pixelborn being gone means we're not gonna be streaming us playing. However, we are gonna build a deck, and that deck is gonna be Amethyst Steel. I actually was told that I slept on this deck in my top 10 video for set championships. I actually put it as number 7. I want to say I put it at number 5 for Stitch, number 7 this time around for Ursula. I don't think that's necessarily slept on. I think it's right there with number 4, 5, and 6, which are Sapphire Steel, Amber Steel, and Amethyst, Emerald, Tempo. I think all 4 of those decks are kind of right in that bunch there. None of them are going to be your top tier deck, but yeah, so I do think Amethyst Steel is a solid deck. Not too bad, Phil. Getting ready for next weekend. I'm definitely ready for next weekend. Still not sure what deck I'm going to play. Might be this one, Emerald Steel, Amethyst Emerald, or Ruby Amethyst still. But yeah, I don't know entirely. I'm for sure going to 3 set championships, so hopefully it goes good at all access, and then we'll just play a different deck possibly for Gnome. But yeah, I guess, like I said, can't really go on Pixelborn, so instead just thought, hey, maybe we go update or build a different deck. Probably just going to add a bunch of cards and then see where we're at. Uninkables, where we're lacking. Let's see, 1-drops for Amethyst Steel. I feel Robin Hood's probably almost mandatory in the deck, not necessarily. But obviously Robin Hood is just crazy strong from Steel. Gonna want draw, so between Broom and Followers. I do like Broom more because being able to draw the same turn you play it if it's in the late game. So maybe we'll start with some Brooms. I did see this deck when Specky had his list. I don't recall it offhand. Could pull it up, but I don't want to just net deck him for the sake of this video. We'll see where we end up, and then could compare it to his possibly later. Although those, because I know Lorcana Villain won the Stitch one, and I don't know how big their media set championship events are. Not that that means a whole lot, because obviously the quality of player there is there. Specky's a really good player. Lorcana Villain's a pretty good player. I don't know who else is actually invited to their media event though either, so it would be kind of neat if North America does something like that. The Bells. I don't know. I was gonna read Belle over some more because offhand I just didn't. She's the one who moves damage. I mean, we'll get to her in a little bit. But yeah, I guess offhand I don't even remember what Belle does. I think she's the one who moves damage, if I'm not mistaken. The Yen Sid's interesting, especially because playing, where's that other Broom? Did he play the full-on bounce package? Only 16. So 16. But I mean, like I said, if KW, it'd be, do they stream it, Phil? I wonder. It'd be kind of neat. We'll put the bouncers in there to start at least. I don't know if you need the Pinocchio to exert their character with the deck, but we'll see. There's the magic broom we like. Yen Sid working nice if you're playing 8 brooms. Smee's also kind of nice as aggro. Let's see. I appreciate that a lot, Gabriel. That's kind of what we strive for. She moves onto Diablos or Flynn's. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought she was. Yeah, I could see why she's good. I don't know if Baboom's worth it in this deck. Same with Smee. Like, we'll put 2 in there just so I remember to go over him later. But I don't know if he's gonna be worth staying in the deck. Any other 2s that we're missing? Do we want the Yens? I don't know if I'd want Yen Sid. Good if you have a broom, draw a card. Also quest for, I mean, having 2 or more brooms to gain the extra lore, I feel like doesn't come up too often. I'll have to look for those videos then just to kind of see. It'd be interesting. I like watching gameplay videos of other people. I just got to work it out with Zach and stuff at the shop to try and set something up on a little more regular basis to get gameplay footage. Biggest thing there is I just got to get permission from all the players to use their footage. Although if anyone is bored, what time do we start? Noon on Sunday? I'll post a link in our community tab on this channel, but our locals All Access Card Shop has a YouTube channel and or a Twitch channel too, and they're going to be live streaming our set championships. So I'll post that link once it's up on my community tab here. So if anyone's bored, they can check out our local scene playing. Let's see. It kind of makes me miss the little series I did where we did, I mean, not live, but on video, built a deck and tested it right away. That was fun. I talked to Zach though, and they're already gonna be live streaming it. So, but like outside of that, I want to bring a little setup. I was gonna do it the other week when I was there, but I was in a hurry after dropping the kids off, and I actually forgot my laptop in my bag on my stairs at home. I like Peter Pan. We'll see if he makes the final cut or not. Fox will be in there. Crab probably won't, but we'll put one just to remember it. Same with Maleficent. The draws aren't bad with Bucky as a counter. Friends, I feel like is going to be in there for sure. Probably quick enough that we don't need the Aladdin, but maybe. I guess we got 7 people, and other than Phil, because he might not want to tell me exactly what he's playing in the event. But what decks are you guys planning to bring to your set championships? We'll kick over, by the way, once I go through the cards to the deck tab, so my picture's not over here just blocking it too bad. Other 3s. Who might be worth it? Possibly Benja, just because he does hit those items, but he still kind of fits the quicker aggro portion. I like Storm Rage on a lot. I don't like how it works with Bucky, but, you know. How's it going, Matt? My very first Patreon, so shout out. We'll get to that giveaway, too, at some point here, going through the deck. We got the wheel of names all ready to go. We'll just mix it up a little and then do our Tinkerbell giveaway. What else? Smash, maybe. Decent, maybe. Dolores could be sneaky. It's a draw. It's a multi-quester. I saw her popping up a little more in some Amethyst lists once again. Queen's Castle, also pretty good. Steel Song. I do think Steel Song is gonna surprise a lot of people and pop up way more than it has been. Ruby Amethyst Magic Carpet Location. That sounds spicy. We're actually, our local group, we were talking about a Ruby Amethyst location style deck. Was it Quantum who just did one? But ours was a little different than his. His was like Ruby Amethyst with like 6 new cards, I think, was one of our group members pointed it out. And after she said that, I was like, that's kind of hard to not see it that way anymore. Get the Merlins in there first. I don't hope so. I don't like Steel Song. I mean, I'm not playing aggro this time around though either, so maybe it'll be a little bit better. Putting in the 8 matches. Is that Dolores, Phil? Or I don't even remember exactly what I said for who's putting in work. Did I skip over Belle too? Or is she a 5? She must be a 5. Ooh, fours, fours. Again, I don't think you need Find 'em Platinum in this deck. I do like her in other decks. We'll throw some Zeus's in there at first. Again, like, can kind of ignore the 57 over here because we got to trim that down. More or less just throwing cards that might make it into the cut. Okay, so there's the bell. Ooh. Wrong button. Play it, move up to 3 from chosen character, chosen opposing. I should play her in Purple Bucky. Nice little counter in that mid-late game. Get rid of your opponent's cards. Let's see who else. Isabel could be a decent. I doubt she'll stay in there. Little Tink. I did skip over Little Tink, didn't I? Also offers that draw to fix your hand. Let's see. Good old Tuk Tuk. Tuk Tuk and Jim are going to be broken in the right set. We just need the right locations, and then it's going to happen. We'll throw Tinkerbell in there for right now. Because people can't quest with... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just puts that threat out there. I do like Tink too. Like, I mean, obviously shifting Tink really strong, but sometimes just digging for that other card. What was it? Set 2 when I was playing Amethyst Steel Hyper Aggro. I was on, is it the Huntsman, the 2 cost 1/1, where every time he quests you draw and discard a card? Or something like that. I liked him a lot. Just fixing your hand is always really, really nice in any game. Let's see. My last video was on Piglet. Theory was really good. Reality didn't work out like I wanted it to. The 3/5 resist 1 can take out a Bucky. Quest for 3 in the top deck game. Like I said, all the logic was there. Change it up, play a whole new world. Maybe swords. I just really like swords. I don't need the Yzmas because we have access to Tinkerbells. So we're at 75 at the moment. Is anyone else worth playing? There's the card we're all going for. I really like Simba too, but outside of like Sapphire Steel, I don't know if I'd play him. Just trying to get to 7 ink in a discard format can be kind of tough. Yeah, I don't think anyone else is really worth it. So I guess I'd have to save it. So let's go ahead and throw over to that side. Oh, move my phone out of the way too so I can actually see what we're talking about. So if we go info, we got what? Only 14 uninkables. So we got to cut 15 cards, but really none of them need to be uninkable cards to cut either. We actually own almost this entire deck. That feels good. Sometimes I do this and I'll like, usually it's with the Sapphire cards because that's just one color that I never invested into a ton. And it's like you build a deck and it's like, oh man, I really, really like this. And then I go and see that I'm missing like $150 and it's like, yeah, maybe not today. We got 8 1s, 12 2s. I like to be a little lower on those. Like 8 and 12 is nice because you can usually hit your curve. We'll have to cut some 3s, 4s back. But you can usually hit your curve, but like you don't struggle in the top deck mode as much because like late game it just sucks when you're pulling these cards off the top of your deck. Let's see. So we got on 1 Broom and Hood. 2 right now we got Broom, Snake, Smee. Do we keep the Smee because he's aggro or not really worry about him? Oops. I don't think we're going to keep the crabs. Do we keep the Pan or the Maleficent? They're both kind of there for Bucky discard. Pan takes out Diablo hard. Maleficent gives you an extra draw. We'll probably keep the Pan, but we'll hold off on that for now. Smee was our other 2, right? So what else do we have on 2? Smash or Baboom? Which one do we play? Steel Song's more prevalent. This hits aerial. But if you're on the draw, you're a turn late on hitting a Diablo. But on 3, if we keep Peter Pan anyway, that kind of answers it that way. Let the Storm Rage on. Friends, Zeus. Do we need Grab Your Swords either? I feel like Grab Your Swords is another one that could probably go. Keep the Zeus. Let's cut that down to 3 at the moment. Baboom or Smash? What do you guys think? Like I said, hitting the Diablo early feels really, really good. Still hits Merfolk, hits Flynn. But Smash hits Deceiver of All and Aerial. And I think Aerial is going to be, like I said, I think Steel Song's just going to be good this format. So maybe we keep that Smash. Isabella can probably go. Is Belle worth it at 2? Is she typically like a 2 of, or does she go 4? Could probably go either way with her. On 4, I think Rabbit and Goat are just better than Dolores. Yeah, we'll take out the Maleficents. Do we go away with the Smee? Sitting at 67. Leave it to the Steel Song player to say Baboom. Just kidding. Yeah, it's probably the right call. Like I said, 'cause if you're on the draw versus Bucky, then you're a turn late already on Diablo, and they're already getting to draw off of it. And just the lower ink, you can pair it up with other cards sooner. Do we like the 8 brooms? I mean, I guess that's kind of there for the same thing as the Baboom. Where are we even at? 65? 65. Yeah, I think Smee, Magic Broom could probably, between the 2 of those. Some people are on 6 1-drops. Could even take a couple out of that. I thought about the Sid. I wish the extra lore was if you had a broom character, not 2 brooms. But I mean, I guess that's, plus 2, so it gives you 3. It is pretty good there. Could play him at like a couple instead of the Smees. Oh, just that 3/3 though is so nice, especially when you have Snake too. 2 or more brooms. And the draw. I hadn't used Sid, but I was thinking about it when we were kind of throwing this together. Who else would we keep? So I think between this broom, Pan, and Baboom, I don't think we need 8 of them. Also Storm, if you're on the play, answers Diablo, assuming they don't shift it. Grab Your Swords answers Bucky. So I don't necessarily want to cut that, but maybe. So we keep Baboom. Tinkerbell Hood, kind of our big play. Belle's the fun play. The 4/4 is really what sells her, though. Other than like Ice Block Medusa, you're pretty well set there. So the 4/4 is actually really nice. Yeah. Still sitting at 65. 65. Cut 5 more cards, then go spin our wheel. See, this is where like having an online platform to test is really nice. I guess we got Ink Table if you want to play against a bad AI. Let's take 2 Brooms down. I kind of want to add 2 Smees in, because on 2, unless you're bouncing with Snake, you got those 2. I do like Smee a lot. Pan, do we need Benja? So versus item decks. If it comes to that late game like that, I don't know if Benja's really needed. But he also hit flutes. So Benja also hits flutes. Am I trying to just do too much and answer everything, and that's why the deck's just not gonna do what we want? Do we keep Storm? I mean, drawing card and dealing the 2 is so good. Castle can always go to 3. I never feel like, I don't know. I've played 3 and 4 and I feel like I see it the same. Obviously, statistically, that's not true. Zeus also good, especially because I do think locations see a little bit more play. Ruby Amethyst is more popular. Pride Lands, Cove, things like that. Smee plays well with Bell. That's true. Smee does play really well with Bell. Wanted to try this deck since there's decent. I think it's a solid choice. I think this deck can answer a lot of the current meta. It just feels a lot like Ruby Amethyst to me, where you don't really have good matchups or bad matchups. You just kind of have matchups. Whatever we finalize this list at, I will throw image of it in the community tab tomorrow as well, if you guys want to check that out. We're still at 65, hey. Do we cut the 1-drops back a little? Because then you go like Robin Hood 1, Smee 2, Shift Hood 3 in that aggro, or when you're trying to go aggro. Because you don't necessarily need, like, we have Broom for draw, Storm for draw, Friends for draw, Rabbit for draw. So we're at what? 63 then. Goat, Rabbit. Could even cut 1 Tink to 3, but if you're going for the Shift Tink, Queen Castle might be the better cut to 3, and then we gotta cut 2 more. I think it's between Peter Pan and Benja. Because then on 3, you prioritize Tinkerbell or whichever other one, or you can bounce with Fox. Song, or yeah, just hard play a song even. You don't have to sing it, I suppose. So if we cut Pan, we still have what? 2 Brooms, 2 Baboom, Storm Rage on. Even if you give up the draw, I think Pan might be the one to go. Just to keep a little bit of that aggro and item deck matchup a little better. And then what? 1 Castle. I mean, I know a lot aren't playing swords in this one, but I still like swords overall. That was the reason for Peter Pan, essentially. It does suck when you're like, that was kind of the whole Smash versus Baboom argument, was, do you want to answer it right away, or do you want to answer it after they already get to draw? That's true, Phil. Yeah, just play blue steel if you really want to beat green steel. No followers. I like the little broom more, and I just don't want to play more than 8 1-drops. I like broom just because you can do it all in the same turn late game. The 2 attack, though, can be nice from followers, or if they try to challenge into it, they're more likely to lose their character. I do like both. I guess for me, it just comes down to like late game, play broom, play something else. Being able to pop your broom to draw that way. But we got a rough build on the deck at least. Can mess with it some. Then we can go ahead and, I guess, move me back over this way. Go to our little wheel of names over here. And we're going to have to mix it up because right now it's just all organized. Shuffle it a whole bunch. For those who don't know, watching it late, watching it now, what giveaway each month we do our Patreon giveaway where there's the tiers to get different levels, and if you're a returning Patreon you get a free bonus entry. It just maxes out at the 1, so if you're in the 3 you get a 4th, if you're in the 2 you get a 2nd. We're definitely going to shuffle that a little more. Didn't need 4 of the same guy all in a row. Once again, try and mix it up. Roughly, a few of them are back-to-backs, but at least no one's 3 or 4 entries in a row. But we do have our Enchanted Rare Tinkerbell to give away. I also have next month's giveaway here. Not quite as nice, but maybe it's more. Maybe it's nicer. Might be more appealing. We'll see. We'll go ahead, spin. And we're slowing down. Our winner is it going to stop? Hey, Matt. It's been a few months, and you've been my first subscriber. So I'll reach out on Patreon. I'll get that information from you. Get that Tinkerbell sent out as well. So congratulations. Thank you for the support. I guess the one-drop Robin Hood. I'm going to contradict myself because in other decks I didn't play it because I've said the same thing. With the whole early shifting wasn't happening a whole lot. I guess in this one it helps me go aggro more, being able to get that shift on 3 if I want to. Just applies that pressure, I guess. It's hard for me to say that you're wrong or anything like that because I've said the same thing already, so I can't say that you're wrong. I felt that same way at times with Robin Hood and the shift, and just it feels more natural sometimes to play him on 5. I guess if you even wanted to, you could play other ones, for sure. Let's see. Okay, make sure I can see where we're at here. So for July Patreon giveaway, like I said, it's going to be a little different, but I stopped in to register at a set championship, and our one locals had this. So we have a first chapter box that we're going to give away. It is from the October print, so it does have the tape on the 3 spots. The October printing here. So it's not first print. I believe that's second print. Still in 2023, the first year. Yeah, so that's next month's. I guess, yeah, not going full like hyper aggro, although I might be doing one of those coming up here with these colors. But just having the option, I guess, to be more aggro than like Ruby Sapphire. And obviously almost every deck's more aggro than Ruby Sapphire, but aggro enough to where you can realistically win versus them more than not. But yeah, definitely it's one of the color combinations. If you really want to go aggro, you absolutely like Maleficent's crazy. My kid was, or not necessarily wanting to, I'm pushing him into playing aggro just because it's going to be easier for a 7-year-old to pick up. And I was like, hey, what colors do you want to play? And he's like, red and blue. I'm like, okay, pick a different one then, right? So, yeah, mid-range is more the plan. With, I guess, the option to speed it up a little bit, I guess would probably be the fairest statement. But yeah, for him, we're probably going to play Lemon Lime aggro at the moment was one we were really looking into. Otherwise, I mean, Amber Amethyst, even stuff with bodyguards is just nice to drop those bodyguards to protect your turn sideways strategy. Once you get 2 or 3 of them questers on board, if you can just keep dropping bodyguards and not have to worry about their presence. Obviously, Steel and Songs is going to be be the bane of your existence, but that's kind of the nature of the beast playing aggro. Let's see. So we did the wheel, we did all that. What was Specky's list? I gotta update my spreadsheet too. I don't even remember which tournament this. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, I do. He was the Ursula Turn Media Set Championships. So let's see. Chernobygs, Broom, Maleficence. So draw, aggro, anti-Diablo, bouncer, aggro, anti-item, draw, bouncer. Spellbook, I don't dislike it. I don't know how I like it right now. I feel like a lot of people are ready for items, but it's still such a good card. 3 Tink. So, I mean, we were on 4. We could have cut that down. Put 4th Castle back in instead of the 4th Tinkerbell. 3 Zeus. So for songs, that's all he's on is the Friends and Zeus. I guess because he's definitely going a more aggro. Like, he can go Maleficent 1, Smee 2, Benja 3. Opting no Robin Hood at all, which, I mean, is fair. Definitely not an aggro card. Like I said, it's just that turn 3 multi-quester potential to help speed up the mid-range plan. But definitely more of a mid to late game card. Not what I would consider aggro normally. I do like it a lot, actually. I'll just have to try it out, I guess. I gotta see if I got 2 bells. I think I have 2 bells. I think I got this whole list. Could try it out, bring it to League one of these days. We'll see. So, not too, I mean, it's actually pretty far off. It's what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 11 ones, though, and then 12 twos. I guess, never mind. It's aggro. You are going to load up more on the front. I was going to say, part of me wants to not have so many 1 and 2 drops with the format we're in, but if you're playing aggro, you're gonna, it's like hyper aggro. But that's probably pretty much it for today, though, guys. I do appreciate hanging out. Kind of fun just to throw a deck together. Again, I'll put it up in the community tab. Yeah, I'll have to check Phil and let you know for sure. But throw the deck list that we put together in the community tab. Again, it could probably use some polishing. It's just more or less me trying to cover up time while we talk and put things together. Ruby Amethyst versus this. If you're talking Specky's list or the one we did on the video, I think there's a difference there. So I guess we'll kind of go through both. In Bucky discard, I think Ruby Amethyst is a little unfavored, but they do have answers. You know, you have your brawls earlier, and if you can get to your Medusas in late game, the problem is having the ink to get to them and be able to play at that point. So definitely you're going to want all your purple cards to replace themselves into draw cards is the real thing there with Ruby Amethyst. Essentially play cards to replace cards to get you to that late game just so you have a hand and have your ink. I think this deck answers, because Steel answers the Bucky deck just better overall than Ruby does. Ruby is the better late game because it's truly removal, not just damage. So I think Ruby's the better late game, whereas Steel is the better mid-range game. Versus Ruby Sapphire, I think, especially Specky's list, like this deck would just eat up Ruby Sapphire 9 times out of 10 being aggro. I think both decks can do decent against it. You definitely want to not get to that late game because like Ruby Sapphire just seems to win decks out of nowhere. Like when you Tamatoa and you're questing for like 5, or you have Tamatoa plus Dime and you're getting 10 lore in a single turn. Let's see. Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything Phil said about these two decks. I actually compare Amethyst Steel to Amethyst Ruby a lot. I think that they play very similar. I think they're both good versus like everything, but not great versus anything at the same time. But I do think the deck can be a bit quicker and less expected or so. Like I said, sometimes that true removal though from Ruby is really, really nice in that late game. Obviously, if locations are a problem, Maui coming down is just crazy. But yeah, like Steel is more mid range, so I think like Purple Steel is more of a not aggro but aggro-esque mid-range type deck, whereas Ruby Amethyst is more of a mid to late game style deck, just because the nature of Steel being damage and mid game, whereas Ruby is removal and late game. I think both are strong options. A big thing too I've talked about with people that I think why so many more people play Ruby Amethyst is you can build it for half the cost of Amethyst Steel. Although Specky's list is much cheaper too, so there is that. It's the playing Robin Hood is what makes the deck pretty expensive. But yeah, I guess unless anyone else has a question, I'm probably gonna hop off here, work on editing up some other videos, doing a deck building video. Not sure if we're gonna do that before set championship weekend or after. Have a whole how to beat Bucky video and how to beat Sisu, where we talk about each color combinations, what they can do versus those decks, and then kind of talk specific decks into the matchup as well. Cards from each color, stuff like that. But lots of stuff for set championships, I guess. Tomorrow, purple green evasive discard deck I updated. That one will be up on the channel tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's pretty well it, though. I appreciate everyone who showed up, came out, talked out. Hopefully, at some point we have an online client, or I'll set up something to do a little gameplay footage, so it's just not just talking and looking at cards. Probably, yeah. I don't know exactly what time I'll get there either, but definitely will be there. Pretty excited to see who all shows up, if it's similar to Stitch or if it's more, because a lot of the local people weren't there for that one. I felt like, I mean, like the core group, but some of the others, unless they just didn't want to pay the higher price, just knowing, which I mean is fair for the more casual player base. But yeah, should be fun. So again, Box the First Chapter is next month's Patreon giveaway. Also, we're very, very close. We're for sure going to hit it before August 9th, the 4,000 subscriber giveaway. And that's a case of set 5. So all you have to do is be subscribed. And once we hit 4K, there will be a video where it's very blatant in the title, in the thumbnail. And you'll just go comment on that video and be subscribed to the channel. No Patreon, no membership, no anything other than that. I don't know if Ben's going or not. I actually haven't talked to him in a little bit. I think right before Chicago was the last time I talked with him, but maybe I'll reach out and see. Hopefully not. He's pretty good. But no, there's a lot of good people I feel like in our area, so always makes it more fun though too, at the same time, more satisfying. But yeah, I have ours this week. Then I'm not sure if I'm going to Nome West or East, but I'll be at one of them depending what I do that weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And then my son and I are going to go to Sturgeon Bay to the Noshery one, just because with the smaller cap and him being younger, I thought it'd be a easier one for him to be more comfortable in. And who knows? Hopefully he can even win a game or so. But yeah, so otherwise on any video, I always tell you guys, just let me know if you have questions, if there's things you want to see, things like that. I always have people say, what's your professional opinion on this? And I always tell them I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy with a camera doing the same thing that we all do, playing a game that we enjoy. So it's all fun, but I don't mind helping people out, giving my insight either. But again, my insight's not, it's not the Holy Grail. It's not the scripture. It's not anything more than someone else. It's just another opinion on it. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks.